Yeah, you can see how pleased they are, Chris. I mean, we need to talk about that Rabbi Matondo goal. Last week's one was pretty special, but to do it at that moment of a game, in a game so big, I mean, that's everything that he can bring. That is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think he showed it when he first burst on the scene as well at Rangers, and you felt as if, you know, there was a player here, and then all of a sudden we just put it all together. But to be fair, I don't know what Yang's doing, showing him back in there. You know, that's exactly what he does. It so quickly, though. He takes him down the line, and you can see here, he just moves it and he goes, and it just opens up the full goal and gives Joe absolutely no chance. Just bends it away in that far corner. It's brilliant. It's what you want. That scenario is what you want if you're that type of player on that side there, coming in there with your right foot. The whole goal just opens up and you're able to use one of the defenders to bend it round them away. But I mean, Sima came on and made a difference as well, and you know, we speak about Rabbi Matondo as well. I think Rangers are far more better when, you know, it's when they're trying to pass. They've got players that can hurt you with a pace. They're powerful runners, and you know, looking at probably Celtic Park, I wouldn't be surprised if you see if they're all fit, Matondo, Sima, Dessler, all in the squad, because there is no doubt Rangers, and it's world football now, there is no doubt that Rangers are a stronger team with the pace in their team. It forced Celtic back. I thought Rangers struggled to deal with Celtic's pace in the first half, especially with Maeda, and there was gaps in there, terrified Rangers defensively. But the second half, as I said, it was the opposite, and I mean, we don't know. We're sitting in a studio, but we don't know how much the weather played a big part in that as well.
Yeah, James, I mean, that's the part of the pitch that you plied your trade. How good was that?
That was tremendous. I think that you can look at Yang, but I think that Matondo, because he can go down the left-hand side as well, you need to credit him for waiting for that moment to then shift it. You know, it's a touch, it's a touch, it's a touch. You wait for the defender. I know Yang's not a defender, but in this situation he's defending it, to go off balance, and then he's got the pace to come inside, and it's not another touch, it's no other thought than whip it towards the back post. He gets a dip on it and into the back of the net. And I think that, you know, Chris makes a great point in terms of the pace, but they also provided width. Rangers had no width in the first half. They had no threat of getting in behind.
I think that was down to a lack of left-footed players. I mean, I know it was still the same, but they hugged the touchline there. Well, everything was coming in.
If you've got no width on either side, then the temptation, regardless of whether you're left or right-footed, playing the wrong side, is to come inside, because you don't have the option to open up. You don't provide that threat. When Matondo and Sima are on, Sima in particular, direct, running in behind, occupying the fullbacks of Celtic, not allowing them to go and step in or gamble, because the threat is that ball inside the shoulder, it's a nightmare for fullbacks, and because you've got that pace, but bring in the width. And Rabbi Matondo, as Ian Crocker mentioned in commentary, there was a time where it was cutting inside and that wasn't coming off for him. He's done it back to back now, and it's just a tremendous goal.
Yeah, wonderful goal. Let's get some reaction from the Celtic dressing room now. Cameron Carter-Vickers is with Luke.
Cameron, it was some game. How do you assess that from a Celtic point of view?
Yeah, no, it was a difficult game. You know, I thought we started the game well. Had parts of control in the first half where I thought we managed the ball well, and when we did get it down and pass it, we cut through them and created chances. Second half, obviously, they came out and, you know, the press was good. I think they went man for man, which we found it difficult to play through. And you know, obviously they grew into the game. And yeah, it's difficult when the crowd's all behind them and they're in a lot of possession. It's hard to keep them out. But you know, we done our best. If he had to put us back ahead, that's a big goal from him. But yeah, disappointing not to win the game.
Yeah, it's as if you had that game won twice. Does that add to the frustration when they peg you back?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I was saying before, you know, when you're here and you know the crowd's going for it, and you know, it's a kind of attack after attack. It's hard to keep them out. You know, I thought we tried as best as we could, but yeah, obviously disappointed not to win it.
Obviously, they got that penalty. What did you make of that, and did that change anything in terms of the momentum second half?
Yeah, probably. I think, you know, getting that goal early on probably gave them a good, probably spurred them on to kick on. I haven't seen the penalty back at the time. I thought he was kind of looking for the contact, if I'm being honest, but again, I haven't seen it back, so I can't judge.
When you get in front though so late in the game, what is it you need to do in terms of defending it and seeing it out?
Yes, I think obviously it's all good defending, and you know, obviously defending balls into the box, defending crosses, defending attacks, but you know, I think it's more important to kind of keep the ball when you get it, or at least try and hold it up, or you know, keep the ball up to stop it from just being wave after wave. You know, I think if you play any team and you know it's attack after attack, it's difficult to keep them out.
So many big games still to come, with not long of the season to go. How are you feeling now between now and the end of the season, and what Celtic can still achieve? Yeah,
no, good. Obviously the situation in the table hasn't changed with that result, and you know, even if we won that game today, we would have still probably have to win our next 6 or 7 games. I can't remember how many's left now, but yeah, 6 or 7 games to do what we want to do this season. So yeah, nothing's changed in our point of view.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, the penalty in the second half was a real turning point, but let's just look at the first half where Celtic were so dominant. And I mean, you couldn't have wished for a better start than they got in this game, with Maeda putting them ahead inside 21 seconds.
Yeah, it's one of them bizarre goals that we've talked about where, you know, we talked about at half-time, you know, start of the game, they're trying to turn Celtic, they pick it up, go back to Joe Hart. You know, Tavernier's in a decent position. You know, I'm not sure where the right centre half is, but he's not in line with him. But still, that's a ball that Rangers should deal with. They don't. And, you know, he tries to kick it out of play. He doesn't know where Maeda is. And it flies off him into the back of the net. I'll go back to the goalkeeper, yeah. But I'd also be in the... I think there's a bit of misunderstanding between him and Jack. I think he's thinking, is Jack going to come for it and clear it? Obviously not. And then he's reacted. And then he's panicked a little bit and just tried to whack it out of play, you know, because it's the first sort of minute of the game.
The threat of Maeda makes him...
Maeda was in his head most of the day. You know, James has got a thing about Maeda where he's worried about everything going in behind him, and you could see it particularly in the first half, and even at times in the second half. He doesn't want to get too tight to him in case he gets rolled. And yeah, it was a definite weakness, as Chris pointed out at half-time, that gap between Goldson and Tavernier in the first half. You know, Celtic just, you know, played through them with ease in the first half. That
gap between Tavernier and Goldson, does that come from something that is positionally not happening correctly because of Maeda's threat, or is that perhaps Goldson not quite helping out his teammates?
It's the pace of... I mean, if you look at Kyogo, a lot of times he'll peel off onto the other centre-back to come back across that area as well, because he knows there's a huge gap there. Maeda would terrify Endy. I mean, his pace is I mean, it's unbelievable. But it's one of those ones where when he gets to the other side, sometimes his quality lets him down. And that's probably why he is where he is, because, you know, if you can, you know, your ability and your pace together, you'd be in English Premiership. There's no doubt about it, because, I mean, I've never seen anything like it in terms of his speed. But you look at, you maybe look at it now from Rangers' point of view. James Tavernier was quiet today, albeit he gets his goal for a penalty. Do you maybe put Stirling in that right back area to maybe match Maeda or be close enough and put Tavernier the one further forward, and then you've still got that threat there? But
and then you've got the issue at left back. Sterling had to play at left back today, and I think that...
Are you talking about going forward, Boydie?
Yeah, I mean, I just because of Maeda, because of the way he is, it takes so much away from James Tavernier going forward. But if you've got someone else there to actually just stay with Maeda and deal with him, or try and deal with his pace, I think Sterling can do that. And that allows you to, you know, for Tavernier to go forward.
I definitely think James has a psychological deficiency with Maeda. Honestly, his first.
But would you change everything for one player?
No. From the goal, you know, Rangers never really recovered until half-time. You know, they were tentative. You know, Celtic played great. You know, we always talk about one team being so bad. We've got to give Celtic an enormous amount of credit in a pressure game. They played beautifully, and they cut Celtic Rangers open at will. And you know, Maeda had a great chance. Butler saved the great save from Matt O'Reilly as well. You know, Celtic could easily have been 3 or 4 up. It was a fantastic start, and they had control of the game, and they probably didn't want half time to come. Really, do you know what I mean?
Well, they got themselves 2 ahead through the penalty. VAR picked it up, and I don't think any of you had any complaints at the break.
No, definitely not. I think that Connor Goldson misjudges the flight of the ball, closes his eyes and sticks his elbow out, and it hits off it. You know, it's
good header.
Yeah, I think he's just got to deal with the situation. I don't think there can be any complaints. As I say there, I don't know if he's expecting Kyogo or Maeda to get a better touch on it in front of him, but he just puts his arm out and shuts his eyes. And look, you're looking at the conditions. Jack Butland has been tremendous this season for Rangers. That is composure. It's incredible in a game like this. We spoke about pressure to take the ball, pressure in the big moments. That's huge pressure.
He's an outstanding footballer. Outstanding, yeah. Like, not only his goals this season, but, you know, he's one of the best one-touch passers I've seen in a long, long time. And I thought first half him and Hatari were just a joy to watch.
Yeah, would you have gone for the dink in the high pressure stakes
In this game?
in this
I'd have
game?
been sitting there. And then maybe SOS at half time if it was 2-0 probably. But no, look, as I say, take nothing away from Rangers. 2-0, Celtic win. Rangers that couple of chances just before half time, failed to take that. But you've got to give Rangers massive credit the second half. You know, the substitution from Sima comes on, it makes a difference, and all of a sudden there's a bit of belief. But I still believe that a lot of it came because of Rangers willing to run without the ball. We've seen Rangers just turn the ball and ask the forward players to go and chase it. Sima, in terms of his pace, Greg Taylor, and what Celtic done to Rangers in the first half, Rangers done to Celtic. They forced Celtic closer to their own goal. They were picking up second balls. They were able to recycle it. You know, and they get themselves, you know, back in the game. And then, as I said, as the right decision from John Beaton for the foul, for the one that gets chopped off as well. But you know, Rangers get themselves back in it. And then you know. You then go behind again,
Yeah,
and you've got to give credit.
James, you said Celtic needed, at half-time, you said Celtic need a 90-minute performance.
Yep.
And it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. And it's happened so many times this season, but I think that Rangers adjusted. They were braver in the pressure. They went, you know, high up, man for man, stopped Celtic from being able to play through. There was an opportunity for, when it was goal restarts, particularly with Joe Hart, to maybe, you know, clip that into Kyogo and beat that press, but they didn't. They kept trying to play, and you know that just invited more pressure from Rangers. But you have to give them credit, because they recognise that they can't allow Celtic to keep playing and then wait until, you know, maybe the midfield area to then make the pressure. They've done it from the start and they got the rewards.
Yeah, they certainly did. Well,
How are your emotions after that today?
In the first place, proud what the guys have showed. Of course, this is a really, I don't have a good word because my assistants use words that I cannot use on television about this start, but it's the worst scenario you can have, to go behind like that in the first minute of the game. Also, to get a penalty against like that is also something bad, and every manager in the world gets stressed out of these rules with the handballs, because this ball is deflected the last split second. So my defender jumps with his arm up here, because you need to do that to jump. And he tries to put his arm away, but still it hits his elbow. So that's the worst scenario you can have, to be 0-2 behind in halftime. But the second half, all the boys showed their real personality. And there are in so many ways steps made last couple of months. But this is a really, really clear signal for the outside world what this dressing room is about, and how they changed their mind, and how they are now with a winning mentality, never giving up mentality. And I'm really proud about that.
Let's look at the first half, because you did nearly score just before half-time, but Celtic had chances as well to add to their 2-goal lead. What did you say to address that?
Yeah, there are moments I can say what I say in half-time. It's better not that I say it now. It's just between me and the dressing room. I'm happy about the reaction. They showed personality, and I think at the end we are clearly moral winners of this fight, of this game, with a lot of passion. Everything these supporters want, everything this club wants, everything this club is about, they showed in the second half, and that they need to show the next couple of weeks also in every challenge we have.
Does that sum up the development of this squad on and off the field, with a mindset, because at 2-0 down in the past, it might not have gone Rangers' way, you're able to get back into the game?
I think there's a big evolution in that, and they showed something special today. So it's again another experience that we have in the backpack, or the players have in the backpack, because I always believed in that they have the quality to do it, and they showed in the second half. So this doesn't give guarantees, of course, but if you keep on pushing like we did second half, then you can change things around, even against a really good team as Celtic.
Just to look at the other couple of VAR decisions, how key was that getting that penalty when Fabio Silva thought he was getting booked for simulation, to get back into the game and change the momentum?
It's not getting a penalty. I think everybody's really clear that it's a penalty. He's been kicked against his knee. So it's not getting anything. It's even a little bit pity that he gets a yellow card first for that. But in that way, it's important. You have VAR these days that there are less faults made. And that's nothing against the referees, totally not, because they need to take decisions in split seconds, and it's so difficult to see everything. We know from every training, because I make a lot of mistakes every training day. Around that, it's impossible to see everything. That's why VR is important to have in football.
That contrast of emotions when you think right away you equalise and then there's a foul in the build-up as well. What was that like, and what does it say that the players didn't let that bother them in a sense?
No, it's the big step forward that we don't go in these negative emotions, but we keep on pushing until the end. But it's hard to score a goal, but it's disallowed because 80 yards of the goal there's a fall made. I saw it back afterwards, and it's not a big fall, but you can give it a fall. So nothing to say about that. But we continue now. And that's a really big step forward with a few months ago. We never stop if the scenario goes not our way. We never stop believing and going full to get the scenario our side. So that's a thing you need in a team of real winners. That's what we've been talking about a lot last couple of months. I want to see real winners, and winners never give up. And that is all dressing room show today. So it's a very important victory.
What happened at the end in terms of the emotions? I saw you on the field trying to calm your players down.
Yeah, I didn't see what really happened or how it started. So I will look at images about that, because I don't want that. I want that we stay calm, and after the game also, and that there are no fussy things. So that's why I try to calm down everybody as fast as possible, and I'm happy we managed to do that.
Well done today.
Please.
Yeah, a huge team talk clearly from Philippe Clement at half-time, and they came out a much different side in the second half. The penalty's the big turning point, though. The three of you, was it a penalty or was it not?
Stonewaller.
Yeah.
It's a penalty for me. Not for me.
No?
I couldn't see.
People might at home think this is surprising. So
When
give
I
me your
first saw it, I thought
reasons
Johnson got the ball. He got some of the ball, and Silva's over-egged it. I mean, you can look at it again and think that there is contact, but it's absolutely minimal. I think he gets the ball first, so it's a big call. John's made that call there. He's got the yellow card out. Yeah, maybe flicks.
He leaves his leg
maybe
too
flicks
long.
a bit of a leg out.
He leaves it too long for me.
I don't know if there's enough contact. He runs into him.
Well,
So I don't think it's and the way he goes down as well is embarrassing.
Look,
He
that's
was embarrassing
why
all day.
it's
And I'm
confusing.
not happy with Philippe's comments after the game. You know, well, Golson's not a penalty, but that one's a clear penalty. Come on.
So not clear for you, but
Absolute
James, let's
waffle.
count
It's not
why
it's not
is it
clear
not?
for me, right? But Alistair Johnson might get a touch in the ball, but he leaves his leg too long. Fabio Silva, he's got every right to try and run, through that challenge. He doesn't have to hurdle it, and maybe it's too close for him even to do that. Where I can see, the confusion is, I don't know if it's enough to take him down, but I think there you go. Alistair Johnson leaves the leg too high. The contact's on the knee.
He doesn't kick him. He falls into it. He was falling on his backside all day. He's going down already.
He falls after the contact
So
for me.
listen,
Do you
I
know,
understand why it's
penalty.
given
There was
sometimes.
2 or 3
but
times
for me, I
beforehand.
don't think there's
There
enough
was-
contact for it to be a penalty.
There was 2 or 3 times beforehand he did go down far too easy and he was rolling around, but that is a Stonewall penalty.
Okay, well, cracking finish from James
didn't think it was a penalty until he
but
changed his
then
mind.
VAR involved again, but I think all three of you are in agreement here that there was a foul in the build-up to this.
Correct decision. The only thing I think John Beaton will maybe be a little bit frustrated looking back at it. He should probably just have blown up there and rather than left it go. But I think from Rangers' point of view, it's a good counter-attack. It ends up obviously in the back of the net eventually, but the correct decision was reached. It was a foul.
It's the reason we have
You can see there.
VAR. I know Philippe
It's a
Clement's
foul.
unhappy, and the distance doesn't matter. It's a foul in the build-up to the goal. If there's no foul, Celtic still have the ball, so they can't then go and counter-attack, and that's why it was brought back.
He's maybe getting down a little bit early there as well.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe. Still enough contact, though. No?
You get involved in that one, Neil?
Oh, it's a definite foul.
No doubt with that one.
But the thing
no
is,
doubt.
John Beaton's right in front of it. I think he should make that decision. I felt it was a foul from here, and we're
So
quite
did
a
we.
bit away.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't need to go to VAR. I think that was one that he missed. But thankfully for the game, that's one that you can look back and you can get
I have
right.
to say, I thought the referee was good today.
He was.
I thought he had a good game.
And he was under
You
pressure
also
coming
thought-
in.
Yeah.
You also thought Abdullah Sima had a good game when he came on
did,
at
yeah.
the break, and he got the one that I think put Rangers back in front. I'm losing count with
Level.
everything here.
Level. I mean, he changed the
Put them
dynamic.
level.
You know, what Rangers were crying out for was, as Fadi and Chris talked about, was pace in the wide areas. Very uncharacteristic of Callum McGregor here. Matondo again. Quick feet. Ball comes out. Seems he's got a great goal scoring record. He hits it early. Big deflection. But that comes from a turnover from Celtic, and much better from Rangers in terms of pressing Celtic in the second half.
That wouldn't have happened in the first half.
No, you're absolutely
that's
right.
what you're speaking about, the difference with Rangers. They're behind at this point, but they're proactive. They're ready to go and force that mistake. Callum McGregor, it's not like him to play the square pass. It's almost blind, but you still have to react to win it back. And there is a huge, deflection, but they've got enough bodies forward, Rangers. They managed to keep it alive, and again, probably something that wouldn't have happened in the first half, where the chance doesn't maybe come the way they want it, but they've got bodies forward. They're aggressive, and they force the luck that they need to get themselves back level.
I think Celtic will look at it as well. Scales trying to play into the middle of the pitch as well, and it does get in there, but then it's so unlike Callum McGregor as well. You then look at it and say, is he at 100%? Well, he's obviously not, but you've got to then credit Celtic to go up the pitch. Poor defender from Rangers again, but from Celtic's point of view, when you look at Cantwell, who's got to do better there. Callum McGregor does keep it this time, and you can just see either just peeling away. He knows exactly where he wants to get the ball, in between left back, centre back, and it is an unbelievable finish. People look at Jack Butland and say,
sorry, Kieran Dowell's on as a sub there.
Yeah.
Just jogging back, watching Paulo Bernardo. I know we're praising Rangers for their second half, but it's not job done. You've got yourself back level. That's the crucial time in the game. It's a brilliant weighted pass, and
it's a great striker's
people
goal.
look at
You
Jack
face up
Butland, but it's close to his feet, so it's hard to. He either goes with his feet, and then it's hard to go and adjust to get your hand down there.
But from the striker's point of view, Jim, as soon as Ida moves it and hits it through the defender's legs, the goalkeeper is very difficult to react to it because of the pace, the power it was hit at as well. It was a good goal from Celtic, and Ida, when he came on, I thought he used his body. It was a bit strange at the time when he took Kyogo off, but Ida gets himself an old firm goal, and a really good one at that.
Yeah, and that was the one that Celtic thought that they had all 3 points, but then upstepped Rabbi Matondo with an absolutely brilliant goal to get a point. Well, from 2-0 up at the break, Celtic take just the point back from Ibrox, but is that good enough for Brendan Rodgers? Let's find out. He's with Luke.
Brendan, how do you begin to sum that game up?
It was a fantastic game, obviously full of lots of events within it. I'm so proud of the players today because we're so much the better team leading through to the penalty. Our composure on the ball, our pressing, everything. Obviously restricted Rangers to virtually nothing, but we looked a real threat in the first half, 2-0 up, and could have had one or two more goals, I felt, with maybe picking the right pass. The penalty changes the momentum of the game slightly for us in the second half. That was a good decision on the pitch, and I think when you watch it back on the replays, it's really good recovery defending by Ali Johnson. He's going one way, and you can see he gets a nick on the ball, plays it away, and obviously the player then obviously has gone down and obviously looking to simulate the penalty. So I thought that sort of gave them a little lift in the game, having us been much the better team. Then we're unlucky with the deflection. Obviously it's a deflected goal. We give the ball away, but still it's a deflected goal, goes in for 2 each. And then you're looking at your team's response then. And being here with no support to help you or push you on, the players got themselves back in front again. Absolutely brilliant. Great finish by Big Adam. And it looked like we could then go on and win it. And obviously young guy Matondo scores a very, very good goal. But for us to come here, to play with that courage and mentality, and then the heart and the fight, to get a result, to come away, and then it's still very much in our hands. So I'm very, very pleased with that.
You go right back to the very start to get a goal like that so early on. What did that do in terms of a foothold for you?
Well, I think it was a symbol of our intent right from the off. We got a goal from our pressing, and Daizan is there, giving the fullback no time, and he presses it, and obviously it goes in. But you'll always take that. So you get 1-0 up in the game, then of course that can always give you confidence away from home.
You mentioned it about the first half, that the chances that you had, which would be so good, but was there a frustration you were maybe not more ahead at half time in a way?
Yeah, it could have been. I've been here before and we've been good in games and scored more, and we had that opportunity again today to do that. The combination playing at times and the speed in the top line to get in behind we were very, very good. And like I say, just that maybe that link pass or that final ball to get in, just maybe missing form. Jack Bucknam made an incredible save as well off of Matt's header. So in terms of performance, I can't be critical, because I think we showed lots of really good moments, real courage in the game. They get the lift from the penalty, and then you expect that, partisan crowd back in the team, knowing that they're a direct team, they play it up and play forward early. So we had to stand up to that and cope with that, and I thought the players did that really well.
I know you've touched on that VAR decision. There was 3 today. What was your overall view in terms of the penalty you got, again the one that went against you, and then the disallowed goal?
Yeah, I think they're all correct. I think obviously the arm is up for our penalty, so it's out of that body line or whatever words they use. I'm not sure. So it looked a penalty, and great composure by Matt on the finish. Their disallowed goal was a foul. I think we could see that, and John seen that afterwards. So I thought overall, my only, as I said, in a game of this magnitude, it's always a difficult game to referee, and for me it was only the penalty, which obviously swings it a little bit for them in the second half. But apart from that, I focus on my team and the players and how much they gave to the game, which was fantastic.
It's going to be a real tight run-in now. How many twists and turns do you expect, given it's still in your hands?
Well, yeah, and that's all we needed to make sure we come out here today. Of course, we come in to win the game. That's what we want to do. But when I see how we played today, and knowing that in a few weeks' time we're going to be even better, some of the guys getting more fitness, and the guys that are coming back, and for us really, we have still a job to do in the other games, but we play Rangers at home, and with our own back and our own crowd, and play to our level and our football, then we're pleased with today, and hopefully then we can use that going forward.
Appreciate your time.
Good man, thank you.
Yeah, he's saying pleased with today, the performance. Obviously would have wanted the win, but inwardly though, will there be a frustration?
Frustration because they played so brilliantly in the first half and didn't come away with the win, and the fact that they've scored 3 goals here at Ibrox, which not many teams do, and still not come away with a win. But I get, the overall he'll be, more than satisfied with the performance. They just sort of lost ground a little bit, momentum changed, and you've got to give Rangers a huge amount of credit as well. The third goal that I haven't talked about, the Matondo goal, special. That's an unbelievable individual goal. He's left Yang standing, and then the finish it's just top class. And sometimes you got to go, great goal, son. You know what I mean? But in terms of the overall, they're still in their hands. They've got to take him back to Celtic Park. I think he'll be quietly confident on what he's seen today, that they can cause Rangers more problems at Celtic Park. But there will be a tinge of frustration that they haven't won the game. But like I say, 2 teams made it a great game today, so you've got to give Rangers an enormous amount of credit for coming back into the game.
Yeah, Captain Callum McGregor couldn't start the game today, came off the bench. Let's hear from him. He's now with
أليستر جنبه، اللي بالمناسبة امبارح وعشان الحظ كان بيسجل هدف حلو قوي في شيفيلد في الوقت اللي كان بيغلط فيه كايسيدو، وهيضيع 3 نقط على تشيلسي، وكانت هتدخل مقارنة هتضيع كايسيدو أكتر. ولذلك لما بقول لك بالمر أنقذ امبارح ناس، هو ما أنقذش بس الواتش لونج بتاعي، ده أنقذ بدياشيل، أنقذ كايسيدو، أنقذ بوتيتشينيو، أنقذ تشيلسي، ونكد ميسون ماونت. فامبارح الظروف قالت ألا يتم ذبح كايسيدو وبادياشيل. ولكن فكرة توظيف كايسيدو في مركز 6 يا جماعة بصراحة مش لد عليا، مش جاية معايا سكة، مش شايفها، مش شايف الواد. ماك أليستر أو جروس وتضييق المساحات اللي كانت بتحصل دايما في برايتون في سيستم لعب مع انفيرتد باك بتحصل من الظهير الأيمن أو الأيسر في برايتون، مش موجودة في تشيلسي. فأنا لما ألعب بسنجل بيفوت أو بلعب بدستروير لوحده اللي هو كايسيدو، تملي هتبقى في مشكله، وتملي لما يغلط الغلطه بتاعته الفرقه كلها هتتعرى، وتملي اول ما يغلط الغلطه بترد علينا بهدف. طبعا تحول الفريق 180 درجه رغم سوء انزو فرنانديز ورغم انه خد انذار. تحول اداء الفريق وتحول اداء انزو الفردي، انه لما نزل هو لعب الدستروير قدام الثلاثه بتوع الدفاع، طبعا بعد خروج مالو جوستو، بعد خروج ديساسي، نزول شالوبا ونزول جيل كريست، بقى اصبح انزو هو اللي بينزل قدام الثلاثه عشان او على الدايره عشان يبتدي هو عمليه البيلد اب. اصبح للفرقه شكل، عنده فيجن، بيلعب بشكل حلو. تامين دفاعي لما خدت بالي من تغييرات بعد كده بوتيتشيني هو عايز ثلاثه يقفوا ورا كده زي العساكر، صنم ثبت صنم، مش عايز منهم اي حاجه، هو انزو اللي هينزل يعمل الشغل كله على الدايره. ولذلك لما ممكن يكون مالو جوستو هو مش عايزه يزيد على نص الملعب ولا يعمل اوفر، لان انا منزل جناح هو اللي هيقوم بالدور ده، مش عايز زيادات من الدفاع ترد عليا بمرتده اللي هي لعبه مانشستر يونايتد. ولذلك رغم ان انا في اللايف كنت قاعد متضايق، ايه يا عم التغييرات دي ليه ساب بدياشيل، لكن لما تبص لها بزاويه فنيه هتشوف ان بوتيتشينيو امبارح توفق في التبديلات. رهاني كان وانا حتى اثناء مشاهده المباراه امبارح اني لازم يتدخل المدرب لاخراج لاعب من نص الملعب، وكان المفروض يطلع كايسيدو. كنت بقول هيطلع انزو علشان انزو عنده انذار، ولكن راهن الرهان الصحيح بوتيتشينيو. طبعا انت فاكرني هقطع في فروه بوتيتشينيو رغم اني بقول على السوق بتاعه في اول درس مستفاد في الفيديو، لا هو امبارح الحقيقه ادار ال 90 دقيقه في المباراه بتاعت امبارح بشكل كويس. ويمكن لما اتكلمت في مباراه بيرنلي على اخطاء متراكمه في الشخصيه، الكرات الثابته و لا يحاسب عليها امبارح في 90 دقيقه. طبعا في الجزء بتاع ضعف الشخصيه والكلام ده كله، لكن في سياق ال 90 دقيقه دراميا، وحيث اني بنتكلم على 90 دقيقه كتحليل، بوتيتشينيو امبارح كان موفق بشكل كبير جدا في التغييره الاولى انه يطلع كايسيدو وينزل بلعيب ليه ادوار هجوميه، وبعد كده لما بيعمل التبديله بتاعته عشان يحط 3 قلوب دفاع ويقلب الخطه انه مش عايز الظهير هو اللي يزيد على الشق الهجومي وعايز الجناح هو اللي يقوم بالادوار دي علشان يضغط دالو وعشان يضغط وان باساكا ويكثف اللعب بتاعه من ناحيه دالو، لان وان باساكا تفوق في الشق البدني على مدرك. لما بشوف تغييرات بوتيتشينيو ممكن اعيب عليه حاجه واحده في مباراه الامس، ان التغييرات كانت متاخره. يعني ليه نونو مدويكي ينزل في الدقيقه 90؟ انت الفكره عندك بس بتجيلك بلاج، بتجيلك دايما متاخره. نفس الحكايه برضو التغييرات حصلت بعد ما استقبلنا الهدف، ولولا عنايه السماء ولولا الحظ ولولا ضربتين الجزاء اللي سوفت ولو اتحسبوا عليا هبقى برفص في الارض ما كناش خدنا المباراه. انت في ظروف خدمتنا عشان نفرح الفرحه دي امبارح، ولكن للامانه ايضا دخولك في هذه المباراه كان متاخرا، وهذا درس اخر في هذه المباراه. يجب ان تكون التغييرات هي تغييرات الفعل وليس ردة الفعل، خصوصا لما تبقى متفوق فنيا وعندك بعض اخطاء اللعيبه. ثانيا لما تكون بتلعب على ارضك ولازم تحقق في الفوز، فمش هينفع افضل جبان وافضل ردة فعل لحد الاخر. انا تعاملت مع التغييرات ان انا ردة فعل امبارح بعد تقدم مانشستر يونايتد. ولكن يعني وانا بفكرك كده في النص وانت بتعمل لايك لما كنتش عامل لايك للفيديو، ولكن لو انت فاكرني هنحي الفوابر بوتيتشينيو عشان امبارح، فعزيزي المشاهد خيبت ظنك. انا محتوايا ليس مهاجمة المدرب ولكن مصلحة الفريق. فلما يلعب مباراة جيدة ولما تتفرج على المباراة تاني، مش عيب ان انا اقول ليه التغييرات دي حصلت وانا بتفرج على اللايف في المباراة، ولما ارجع اتفرج عليها تاني بنظرة وتأني اشوف انه اختار اسلم تصرف امبارح قدام تكتل مانشستر يونايتد. طبعا ده لا يعفي امبارح ان اخطاء المنظومه الدفاعيه المتكرره الساذجه التي لا تحتمل باستقبال 50 هدف في الموسم من تشيلسي يتحملها بوتيتشينيو بشكل صريح، ودي مش بس امبارح، دي على مدار الموسم. يعني انت بتتكلم في كرة الهدف الاول مسخرة، بداية من وقوف خط النص بشكل خطأ، مرورا بالدفاع اللي بيلعب بشكل خطأ، نهاية برضو بتروفيتش اللي بيتأخر في طلوعه عشان يقفل زاوية على جرناتشو وانه استنى، وانه في الكرة بتاعت الهدف الثاني طلع بدري وتسبب في الهدف بتاع جرناتشو الثالث. في المنظومة الدفاعية مهزلة. يعني انت بتلاقي كوكوريا بقى هو الباك اليمين، ومالو جوستو جاي من نص الملعب، وجاكسون هو الباك الشمال بيغطي في كورة كايسيدو ورا، وديساسي وبادياشيل بيجيبوا كنافة عشان العيد. انتوا فين يا جماعة؟ بتعملوا ايه؟ وكرة الهدف الثاني بتحصل التبديلة، الواد بادياشيل بيبص كده عليه، السلام عليكم انت مين جاي من ورايا؟ يا عم برونو. جاي من ورايا عم برونو، طب اتفضل. وسابه عدى من وراه وما جاش على عكسيه وخلاه في البلايند سبوت بتاعه، نط غلط سجل الهدف الثاني. اللعيبه مش بتقف صح في الدفاع. وهنا الموضوع مش متعلق بتياجو سيلفا غيابه ووجوده، ولكن لان انا كنت شارح الموضوع ده، الدفاع يبدا من نص الملعب، ولكن للامانه الاخطاء بتاعه بادياشيل ما يغلطهاش تياجو سيلفا. انت عارف الفكره في ايه؟ الفكره مثلا لما كنت بتلعب 4 مدافعين مع لامبرد وكان عندك مشكله في الدفاع وجالك توماس توخيل قلبها 3-4-3، فظهرت لعيبه منهم تياجو سيلفا منهم روديجر منهم كريستنسن بشكل افضل لما كنا بنقول عليهم خرم في ايام لامبرد. فانا لحد دلوقتي لما استقبل 50 هدف في البريمير ليج دي مأساة، دي فضيحة، دي لا تجلب لك البطولات عزيزي المشاهد ولا تجلب لك مركز مؤهل لدوري الأبطال. مفيش فريق عايز يستقبل 50 هدف عشان تقول لي ان انت فريق كبير ولا انت فريق ناوي تحقق حاجة، لان انت مش ضامن ان في كل مباراة انت بتستقبل هدفين، بيرنلي هدفين، مانشستر هدفين، السيتي اللي قبله هدفين، انت عمال تستقبل هدفين وعلى ارضك. فاحنا عندنا مشكله، موتشيني عنده مشكله في الدفاع وفي العناصر الدفاعيه. لازم 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 تخلي بالك من الدفاع، تخلي بالك من وقفات اللعيبه بتاعتك، وان حتى الباكين بتوعنا يبقوا عارفين مين لما بيزيد اليمين الشمال يقعد، ولما يزيد الشمال اليمين يقعد. ما ينفعش تبقى راجعه عليا كوره والنتيجه في صالحي والنتيجه معايا ويبقى كوكوريا ويبقى مالو جوستو الاثنين اوت اوف بوزيشن ولا واحد في مكانه. دي ما بتحصلش. لما بنلعب خماسي لو واحد جنبي بيلعب اللعبه دي بقول له يا عم ما تلعبش، اقف في مكانك. فلا يصح الا الصحيح. دفاع تشيلسي بالامس مهزله يحاسب عليها بوتشينيو، ومش من مباراه امبارح، ده من بدايه الموسم. لان خلي بالك ممكن تتكلم على موضوع تياجو سيلفا ان هو كقدرات فرديه لو موجود مكان بادياشيل في الكوره خصوصا بتاعه الهدف الاول كان ممكن يعمل التاكلينج من غير طرد وكان يحصلها، وكان ممكن يطلع كره الهيد بتاعه الهدف الثاني. سيبك من الهدف الثاني، الهدف الاول عندي احساس بنسبه 85% اني كان ممكن تياجو سيلفا يشيله. طبعا ده مش تحليل، ده انا بفترض، لان التصرف بتاع بادياشيل اللي شفناه امبارح في الكوره وهذا هو الجزء التحليل خطا جدا. الكوره وهي متقدمه في نص الملعب ممكن تعمل فاول تاخد انذار مش هتطرد، لما تقدمت شويه ممكن تعمل التاكلينج وتلحق الكوره قبل رجل المدافع، ولكن بادياشيل لا اختار الحل ده ولا الحل ده، فدي كانت مشكله. فانا عندي قصتين، قصه وقفه الدفاع والتكتيك الدفاعي كمدرب، ومعرفه القدرات اللعيبه القدرات الفرديه للعيبه في المنظومه